question many grown-ups have when thinking about cooking with kids is, knives are dangerous. Should we let kids use them? Don't worry, we'll tell you everything you need to know about this topic. But first, a quick disclaimer. This information is meant for educational purposes only. Every parent knows their child best, and of course, no expert advice replaces a parent's common sense. Our first tip for helping kids use knives in the kitchen is to make sure that kids agree to the rules of using knives. Before your child cooks, make sure she agrees to your knife safety rules. Rules we recommend instituting include: rule number 1, kids should not use knives of any kind without a grown-up around. Rule number 2, kids use kid knives, only grown-ups use grown-up knives. Rule number 3, the knife is not a toy, no waving it around. The only place you can use it is in the kitchen when you're cooking, and no running when you're holding it. Rule number 4, when a parent says stop or put your knife down, you must stop what you're doing and pay attention. This is not meant to startle your child, but rather to be a reminder to bring them back to attention. Remind them that if they can't follow the rules, they will get another chance on another day. Try not to use negative language and to keep introducing cutting in small steps. But it is important to make sure that your child understands and agrees to any rules that you make involving knives.
Do you agree to the safety rules of the kitchen?
Yes.
All right.
I do.
Oh, good.
Our second tip is to make sure that your work surface is at a safe height for your child. Kids are short, so you'll need to think about bringing them up to the height of the cutting area. As a rule of thumb, the cooking surface should be about the height of your child's waist. There are a lot of options out there. Regular step stools can work if they're the right height for your child. For shorter kids, a sturdy chair can work. Just turn it so the back faces the counter so it doesn't tip over. Another option is a product that originated in Montessori classrooms called a learning tower. They're a bit pricey and bulky, but they could be a good investment for your family. Another good choice is using a kid-sized craft table, though that might not work for some recipes that involve appliances. Two solutions we recommend avoiding are cooking on the floor and sitting on the countertop. Both of those are not as sanitary or safe. Our third tip is to make sure your cutting board won't slip. A handy trick is to put a damp kitchen towel or paper towel underneath the cutting board. This should help to keep it in place. If you have a butcher block cutting board, that may be heavy enough to keep it so it doesn't slip. Now that you've established rules and set up a safe workstation, our last tip is to choose the right knife for your child. There are several types of knives that kid chefs can use depending on the child's skill level and maturity and the grown-up's comfort level. These things can vary wildly, so we're going to give you lots of options to help you choose. Beginner kid chefs have a few options. A great first knife for beginners is a disposable plastic knife. Once they practice a few times with a disposable knife, move up to a metal butter knife. Butter knives work great on soft foods. To begin to practice correct knife skills, a plastic kid's chef knife is a great and inexpensive tool to encourage your little chef. If your kid needs to cut through something a bit tougher, she can use a mezzaluna knife. This is a great option for kids around age 4 and older if parents use their hands to help guide them. While the handles keep kids' hands away from the blade, remember, mezzalunas are just as sharp as real knives and should be handled accordingly. For more advanced kid chefs, real chef knives with real blades can be used. Make sure it's a chef knife made especially for kids. Kid chef knives are sized and balanced for small hands, and they usually also have a rounded tip. This one also comes with a handy finger guard. One thing to keep in mind is that just like a grown-up chef knife, a duller knife does not equal a safer knife. In terms of knowing when your child is ready to use a knife with a metal blade, here are some things to consider. Will your child follow directions carefully? Can she pay attention for a significant length of time as she learns how to use the knife? When practicing with a butter knife, does she wave it around willy-nilly or does she treat it seriously? When in doubt, start with the beginner knives and observe your kiddo. Then work your way up to a sharper knife when she's ready. If you follow these 4 tips, you'll be well on your way to helping your kid chef use knives safely. And if you're looking for specific product recommendations, we've got a list of products we like on our website. Check out the link below. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for our next video, the 5 knife skills kid chefs should learn. Happy nomming!